Have you ever noticed that your mind actually sometimes creates its own stress? Hmm. I was speaking to someone yesterday who is looking for a half-day workshop for her team. They're in healthcare and their industry faces a lot of burnout and a lot of stress and a lot of the compassion fatigue. And we were speaking about these elements of a workshop that I can share with them coming up in the fall to help them navigate this, to help them reduce their burnout, reduce their stress, and elevate their team potential. And she said, you know what, Trish, I think sometimes a lot of my team creates a lot of their own stress. And this resonates for me so much because this is something I notice all the time and something I share with teams all the time. And I think sometimes it's a bit of a touchy subject because we don't want to tell people you're the problem, your life isn't stressful, because life is stressful. And there are ways in which we amplify our own stress. So as we were talking about this workshop that I'm going to create for their team, I was talking about sharing this with them and how we amplify our own stress. And I want to share it with you today. And I want to share a simple tool we can do together to help us effectively turn the volume down on our stress. Yes, we will always have stress, and we don't have to turn the volume up on it like we obviously wouldn't do with a song we hated if it came on our radio. So the way that we often turn up the volume on our stress is too much past or too much future. Our mind focuses too much on the past or too much on the future. Let's say we have a work day and there's a really particularly stressful client that we're dealing with, or patient, or there's somebody at work, our colleague, who just gets under our skin, or we get that phone call or that email that's really unpleasant and we don't want to have to deal with that situation or that person. That's stressful, yes. But the way we turn the volume up is when a couple hours later, we're still thinking about that situation. Too much past. We're thinking about, oh, how unpleasant that was and how stressful it was and how frustrating that was and how I didn't want to have to deal with that, or too much future. Our mind is fast forwarding into the future and thinking, what is going to come at me tomorrow? What email am I going to get? Who's going to bug me? Who's going to have an issue? Who's going to have a problem that I need to solve? We're predicting, pre-stressing, pre-worrying about the future. And the important thing to know is that this is not your personality. This is a mental habit, right? We have habits that we engage in all the time, whether we know them or not. We're kind of on autopilot. And most of us, our brains are on autopilot to think too much about the past or too much about the future. We can change this. We can strengthen our mental muscle that can place us firmly anchored in the present moment so that our mind isn't always turning up the volume on stressful situations from the past or from the future. And you can do it with a simple question. Ask yourself right now, what is here right now? Chances are your mind is probably in the past or in the future. What is here right now? Maybe it's the sound of my voice. Maybe it's a sensation. I've got my window here open. I'm hoping that you can't hear that background noise. I can literally feel the breeze coming through my window on my legs below. What is here right now? I feel a warmth in my body. I'm feeling this kind of energy because I'm sharing something that I'm passionate about and I care about. I'm hearing some sounds that are coming from outside my window. And actually, if I really focus, I just finished my tea. I can still taste the flavor of my tea in my mouth. As we use our senses to anchor us in the present moment, we're effectively reaching over for a volume dial and turning it down on our mental stress, the part of our brain that's in that habit of replaying the past or predicting the future. So if this is something that you struggle with, probably your team is struggling with it too. And if you're looking for a speaker, a workshop, a keynote, a team retreat this fall, or maybe even winter, maybe even into 2027, to teach your team some effective ways to elevate their performance by reducing their stress, DM me, reach out, comment below, connect with me, trish@trishtutton.com. Let's talk about how we can teach your team these tools so that they can remember that work can be a source of their passion, not just a source of their stress.